Hey everybody out there in tech world and Black Friday world was just gone past. I've invested in something interesting this Black Friday. Well, it's not really that interesting, but it is certainly an upgrade to what I previously had. Stick vacuum by Dyson. Now, I believe the base model now is the V8, or some people call it DV8. I call it Dyson V8. Sometimes a D8. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Having said that, it came with a whole bunch of ends. Now, what I found is with the instructions that come along with this, it didn't have a very good description on what those ends are actually designed for. So I thought I'd make a quick, simple video on what you can use those heads for and what Dyson progresses for it to be for. And of course, obviously, other official support sites have. So I did a bit of delving around and put it into a small video for you. So the more classic ones that come along with it, which came from the DV7, which I originally had. I used to do that shop behind us there. However, not that carpet. It was a carpet before. That one only just got put in before, I think only a very short period of time ago. The carpet before was actually in pretty bad disarray before we had some damage done by some water. So I had it for many, many years. I was very, very happy with the DV7. It did quite a good job. But as things go with electronics, things come out of alpha, they come out of beta, not just games, but also improvements on electronic items. So I thought, yeah, I'll treat myself this Black Friday and give myself a newer stick vacuum. So, to my dismay, not dismay, sorry, to my shock, there was a bunch of other different attachments that they're now supplying with the base model as well. So, however, be careful when you do buy these things. You can buy a base model with no attachments. They'll come with two, I think, or three. They're no more expensive, if not the same expense as the ones with all of the attachments. So have a look at that when you go to purchase the unit. There is a little bit of a trap there with some retailers. However, I did my research. I got the one with the most fittings because, hey, I use it in all sorts of different particular situations. The most common one is the Multitool, commonly known as a Multitool, because it's the only tool that does both. Or not both, sorry, it does two different kinds of applications. One, it has a scrubbing function, which is what's in now, very firm sort of tube there with a little brush on the bottom here to try and get some really hard to remove customer debris that gets put into your carpet, as most retailers will understand. And then also has the other end of the spectrum where you've got a fine brush to do things around a tabletop that you don't want to disrupt or disconnect. Or even clean up a bit of a cable or a stick or something like that, depending on what you want to use that for. It's very fine, a brush that's on there, so it won't disrupt anything in a hell of a hurry. But that's a simple one. It gets a multi-tool because it goes between that as a multi-function to a scrubbing function as well. The other one that comes along with it, which I got from the DV7 as well, this one came with the DV8, is the tube one. Great for going down little crevices, wherever you would store normally your mobile phone. With that kind of width on there, such as where everyone loves losing between the car seats or down the gear shift valley, where the rubber meets the stick. Try and get that out of there. Good little unit for hard to reach areas. That comes with the original one. And I believe this one came with the DV7 as well, but I didn't use it. I didn't have any use for it in the shop, as it were, because of course I just did the carpet there in electronics. So this is sort of like halfway between a little bit more of a coarser model. Now this one here is designed for furniture or small carpet areas. So it's got a pretty hardcore sort of a brush there. It does spin around, of course, just like the normal power head does, and comes apart with that little coin slotted sort of screwdriver thing where you can put it in there, spin it around, and then pull the whole tube out. So this whole area comes out the side, and you can actually, the other side, and actually comes out. You can clean it out and that sort of thing. It has like an adjustable foot here too. As you can see, it sort of goes up and down. So that's the only adjustment it actually has as far as the surface goes. It doesn't have the full ball action that a lot of the other connections do have. So it's a straight connector, goes straight to the actual unit itself, or goes straight to the actual wand, which is the tube that you get in different colors when they come in. And that, by the way, is the official name of that spare part. It's called the wand. So if you're looking at trying to replace that because you've broken it in some way, which is next to impossible, but it can happen, have a look at the wand. So that one there, I think I had with the DV7 or the V7, but I can't remember. I've never used it. It's probably stored away in the shop somewhere, but I've got a new one now, so it doesn't matter. However, what came with this other one is what looks like I believe, a pelmet cleaner. So basically, this works really well with another addition you can get from Dyson that doesn't come with this particular DV or D7 or D8. Sorry, is a bit of a snorkel attachment. It's like a right angle, which you can actually change in different angles. Good for going up on top of surfaces like the top of a pelmet for a curtain, or a high shelf area that you can't get to get the webs away, because it's got that little brush there to get the webs away, or just to find dust without taking too much off the top of the shelf. You know, it's got that bit of a leeway there, like it does with the Multitool, where it doesn't disrupt it as much or disconnect things that you can't reach. This is the biggest shock that I got. I thought this was actually the improvement of the power head that originally came with the unit, which is the first thing I unpacked. And I thought, well, that's certainly a bit different to the original one. It still rotates like the original, has a different kind of ball section on here, but it operates the same way. However, I found later that actually came with it as well. This is actually an add-on to the power head, or not so much an add-on, but a replacement head that's used specifically for hard wood floors or hard surfaces. So if you've got tiles or a glass surface, or even a wall, or even linoleum or lino on the floor, or hardwood surfaces, it's got like a felt on it. So the felt's designed to pick up on the dust that you would have on the surface of those areas, along with a bit of a brush there to disrupt it a little bit. And that'll go on there, keeping this one clean. It'll actually do a really good job of not so much polishing, but semi-polishing the floor. It has also protection from it doing any kind of scratching on there as well. So just keep an eye on that it doesn't wear away, and you don't want to scratch your floor if it's really hard polished floor. But a great design, and a really good improvement to the otherwise baseline V8 version of the Dyson stick vacuum. So that's pretty cool. And of course, then you've got also the classic, which is the power head, going right back to the D7, which is the V7, which is what I am replacing at this point after using it for many years. This one here has, again, it's like the original ball function on here, so it has all the different angles for the ball on there. Also has the ability to still take the actual tube out to clean through that, what looks like a coin slot, which you turn, I think, 60 degrees to pull it out and clean all the surface away from the area. And of course, the addition to this one, which is the improvement from the alpha or the beta, or whatever you want to call it, is it's got like a little comb system here, which the original never had. And it's got the ability to run through the bristles as it goes along. And the idea of it is what they call a hair removal vein. So what it does is it actually attempts and or does remove some of the hair that otherwise could wind up into it, because this does spin around at quite a velocity. If you've got one, you'll know what I'm talking about, and it will actually wind up in it. And after you've used it a couple of times, or even a good distance of time, sometimes you'll have a lot of hair in there, and you've got to take it out, get the scissors out, cut it out. I did that for many years with my V7. Yeah, luckily for me, I've never had really long hair. I'm actually lucky to have hair at all. Most of the time I'm worried that the hair becomes more grey than more longer. But having said that, a great addition to that particular unit. And that's basically it. That's the ones that come with the base unit of the V8 that I got for this Black Friday. So hopefully that helps out people that are wanting to know what those heads are actually developed for and what they're used for, as opposed to having to go all over the web to find out this sort of stuff for myself, and just using common sense as well. Obviously, be very careful with it, and you'll get plenty of years of good use. I'll certainly vouch for that. I've had great use of the V7, and now hopefully everything will be the same for the V8. Thanks for coming along, and we'll make some more videos, hopefully making things a little easier for you to understand as far as some of the new products that are coming out. See you again.